चलते हैं हम लोग, स्टार्ट करते हैं। टाइम हो गया है 2 से 4:30, 2 बज चुका है और 4:30 तक हम लोग का डिबेट चलेगा। एसएसटी का है और ये तीसरा डिबेट का दूसरा है। अगला हम लोग का इंग्लिश का होगा। शेड्यूल जो भी हम लोग पहले जारी किए थे, एक दिन आगे बढ़ जाएगा क्योंकि बीच में एक दिन एग्ज़ाम के चलते नहीं हो पाया। और एक बात बता दें कि रामानुजन का कल नोटिफिकेशन आया हुआ है, हमने ग्रुप में भी डाला है। कल रिजल्ट आएगा श्योर, 12 बजे आए 10 बजे आए, लेकिन कल आना ही आना है। जो काफ़ी कुछ बच्चे इंतज़ार भी कर रहे थे, हम लोग भी कर रहे हैं कि देखते हैं क्या होता है उसमें। तो कल उसका भी रिजल्ट आएगा और ये आप लोग का लास्ट चांस है, आप लोग का ग्रुप का, यानी जो 10 क्लास के बच्चे हैं, फिर आपको इस स्कूल में डिबेट करने नहीं मिलेगा। जीतने का लास्ट चांस है और डिबेट का अनुभव भी यहाँ का आपका लास्ट होगा, क्योंकि जब ये ख़त्म हो जाएगा डिबेट 3 तो 4 आपके साथ नहीं आएगा। फिर 4 जो 9 वाले बच्चे हैं वो मूव कर जाएंगे 10 में। आप अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस करें, बढ़िया करें और काफ़ी मेहनत करें। इसके आगे भी जो डिबेट आने वाले हैं। मिमी सर स्टार्ट करिए।
Good afternoon, students. So we start from history. First question is, what was wood block printing?
अगर सबके लिए क्वेश्चन है तो आप सबसे बारी बारी पूछेंगे। एक एक करके पूछिए, फिर उसके बाद में जो तरीका है वैसे ही पूछिए। आप नाम बताइए।
This question is for Sahib Jamal. What was wood block printing and where it is invented?
Wood block printing is an ancient type of printing. It is invented in China first time, and it is used as in the wood we write the alphabets, Roman alphabets, and then we print it in the thin sheets, and the sheets are for us so that both sides are printed. That's why we can't print the back side. That is wood printing block.
Yes. And next question is for Fatima. What was accordion book?
Accordion book was a traditional book of China, and it was introduced. It was both sides stitched and folded, as and we can't write both sides because it was very thin and porous, and it was common in China.
Okay. Khushbu, how print came in Japan?
Print came in Japan by the Buddhist missionaries in 1768 to 1770.
And what was the first book printed in Japan?
First book printed in Japan was Diamond Sutra.
For Sohail, who was Kitagawa Otomaru?
Kitagawa Otomaru is a writer, is a
Artist.
who art the ukiyo, who art the photo of ukiyo.
What was ukiyo?
Ukiyo is a picture of girl which indicate the
Through Silk Road print transfer, because in the ancient time there was a man who come to China and take the knowledge of the print, and through Silk Road he go to his country Italy, and then he transfer the information of wood block printing.
Okay. For Fatima, who was Marco Polo and how did he help to spread printing?
Marco Polo was an explorer. He lived China for many years and explored it, and then he came to know the technology of wood block printing in China, and he learned the technology, and that the knowledge he brought this knowledge to Italy and spread it all over it, and after that further it was spreaded in the whole Europe.
Yes. For Sahib Jamal, why aristocrat class did not accept wood block printing in earlier period?
Because in aristoclass printing, the wood block printing is become ancient and it is very much expensive and hard to fragile. Means it is hard to handle it.
No. For aristocrat class, there was no any expensive item. They did not accept wood color printing because they used vellum, which is printed on leather. They see wood block printing as a sign of vulgarity. Okay? My next question is for Khushbu. Who was Johann Gutenberg and what he invented?
John Gutenberg was the son of the rich merchant. He had seen the olive presses and he invented a print press in 1430s. And his print press have a trinkets who print 256 one at 1 hour.
Okay. For Sohail, why new technology did not entirely displace the existing art of producing book? Explain.
Sorry,
Anyone understand?
please.
Why new technology did not replace the existing art of printing?
The technology did not explain in art of technology because it was seen in the wood block printing which print many expensive papers
And fragile.
and fragile.
Okay. My next question is how printing helped to educate the working class? Fatima.
Printing helped to educate the working class in following way. Earlier, the time was shortened for the white collar workers, and their time was reduced so that they can learn more and they can give time for their self expression and self improvement, and thus they also wrote autobiographies, and it led to the rise in literacy rate in Europe, and also through print women also become an important leader as well as children.
Yes. Pratima, who was Martin Luther and what was Protestant Reformation?
Protestant Reformation is a reformation done by the Protestant because in this reformation Martin Luther played a very important role. In this reformation, print is taking.
No. Anyone else? Yes, Said Jamal.
Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses of the Roman Catholic Church, and he is known by the Protestant reformers because he provoked the peoples, and he by his thesis it reproduced in very large amount and very fastly, and the people of their places provoked them and come with Martin Luther, and revolution takes place.
Yes, this is right answer. For Khushbu, how print culture helped in French Revolution?
Print culture helped in French Revolution had a following way. First, print culture enlightened the idea of the thinkers. He opposed the royalty, tyranny, despotism and superstitions. And print culture created a new debate and discussions for norms, institution. And third, print culture published caricature cartoons for insulting the royalty and morality.
Yes.
Louis Sebastian Mercier said that print culture is the powerful engine of progress and public opinion.
Yes. Very good. Fatima, women became important reader as well as writer. Explain.
After when the print was spread all over the Europe. Children, for the children, it was become primary to educate them, and beside this, women also become an important reader. They started to read about the books, and many women became novelists such as James Austen, George Eliot, and Bronte sisters. And they also wrote their autobiographies. They discussed about their injustice, and they also discussed about their problems in the books. They wrote about it, and they read many types of books.
Yes.
For children, first time the publisher take place in France to publish their books for their primary education.
Yes. I have asked for women, not children. Okay. My next question is for Sadi Jamal. What was lending libraries and how it will help to educate workers?
Lending libraries are made likely in England where the workers work on the factories. Then sometimes they get the time to increase their knowledge, and for this the poor people go to the lending library, and sometimes they wrote about their political issues of their culture, and they write about the autobiographies, and it is spread fastly, and many of the old books are written in the new languages.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. My next question is for Pratibha. Before the age of print, there was a use of manuscript. What was manuscript?
Before the age of print, there was use of manuscript. Manuscript was that which is written by hand, and that was very fragile and hard to handle. This was very fragile because it was made by handmade paper and palm leaves. And these manuscripts are written by hand by writers. But after print, the papers are made and it became better.
Yes, very good. Sohail, how print comes to India?
Print comes to India through the prints come to India through the
Anyone else? Khushbu.
Print comes to India by the Goa Portuguese, and the first book was printed in India was in Tamil language, Konkani and Kannada language in 1674, and after that Catholic published the book Tamil books in Cochin, and Konkani and Kannada of 50 books of Konkani and Kannada in 1713 and 1710 Dutch Protestant missionaries published a book.
Yes, very good. For Fatima, who was James August Hickey and why he was persecuted?
James August Hickey was an editor. His edition was a weekly English magazine that was Bengal Gazette. In this magazine he wrote about the gossip of company's senior officials, and he criticized about the colonizing government. Therefore, he was executed by the Governor General Warren Hastings.
Okay. My next question is for Sadi Jamal. Why Muslim ulemas are against the printing?
Because they think that if we give education to the girls, then the Urdu romantic plays affect them, and for this they made the many thousand fatwas, and the ulemas are those people, like in the Hindus there are sadhus and sons who implement their culture and their dharmic thing, that is come like their ulemas, and they don't want to give the education to girls of Muslims.
Yes. Khushbu, how print help to educate women in India?
Print helped to educate women in India because most of the people thought that when women read, then she became widows, and when the Muslim thought that when women read romantic plays, then all Muslim persons how we would Singha and Pandita Ramabai. She was a Bengali woman who Maharashtra woman. She also wrote the Women Injustice, how women forced to do domestic work, and after that Begum Ruqayya Sakhawat Hussain. He wrote for men for withholding to women in the name of the religion, and she was a educationist and a literate.
Okay. For Sohail, who was Raj Sundari Devi?
Raj Sundari Devi is an Indian woman who read about the through read he knowledgeable and know about how do we do good in our house and made and became a good housewife in our house.
Yes, Sahib.
She secretly get educated in the kitchen by the Singh, and she wrote her own autobiography, which is the largest biography in the Bengali language.
Amar Jivan.
Amar Jivan.
Okay. My next question is for Pratibha. Why colonial government imposed censorship on print?
Colonial government imposed censorship on print because the thought of colonial government was that print make a fear that it will do debates and it can destroy the religions. So it makes censorship.
Yes. For Fatima, what was chapbook?
Chapbook were a small book and it was very low price. It was brought by peddlers and it was for the poor people who are unable to buy highly cost books, and it was also read by women.
Yes. Son, yes.
It is sold by Chapman.
Chapman, who are peddlers. For Sahih Jamal, what was Vernacular Press Act?
Vernacular Press Act, it passed in 1878, and in this there is a 1857 revolt in which there are the printers who print about the revolutionaries and provoke them to against the colonial period government to colonial period government to go against them, and the Bal Gangadhar Tilak write in his newspaper Kesari, and by this in 1907 he provoked most of them. That's why Bal Gangadhar Tilak imprisoned.
Very good. Khushbu, how did Gutenberg get the idea of printing press and perfected it? Which was his first printed book?
Gutenberg was a merchant's son. He had seen the olive press's law, and due to seeing of the olive presses, he invented a printing press. His first printing book was the Bible.
Bible. Okay. Fatima, describe the attitude of liberal and conservative Indian toward women's reading.
Towards women reading, both liberal and conservative have different views. Liberals think that women should learn and read and write because they were in favor of them. They think that it could make them develop themselves, but conservative were totally opposed of this. They thought that if a woman were learned, were read, then they can dominate the society and there will be no longer male dominance in the society. Like Hindu Orthodox thought that if a woman will be educated, then she will become soon widow, and Muslim thought that if she will be educated, then his mind will be diverted. That's
Yes. For Sohail, Which book was written by Kasi Baba and what was its aim? Kasi Baba. Anyone else? Yes, Khushbu.
काशी बाबा written a book छोटे और बड़े का सवाल. He wrote in his book about the caste injustice.
Yes, he was a Kanpur miller. My next question is for Khushbu. Mention one major contribution of Richard M. Ho in developing printing press. Richard M. Ho.
Richard M. Ho developed innovations in first printing press law, which was a cylindrical press and electrical press. His printing press had six colors, which fills the print of 6 colors and 8,000 pages per hour.
Okay. My next question is for Sahid Jamal. Who introduced print culture in Japan and what was first book printed?
In Japan, the Buddhist missionaries introduced the print culture, and the first book is the Diamond Sutra in Japan, and the book was invented in 768 AD.
Okay, my next question is for Sohail. From 1780, who began to edit the Bengal Ghazal and what is resulted?
Martin Luther did the
Fatima.
James August Hickey edited the English weekly magazine, which was Bengal Gazette. After that, he wrote gossips about senior officials, and then he was executed by Warren Hastings. After that, Gangadhar Bhattacharya edited, published that in the same Bengal Gazette but in Bengali language. It was a newspaper.
Yes, James August Hickey. My next question is for Khushbu. What was Napoleon Code of 1804?
Napoleon Code of 1804 was Napoleon abolished the privileges of the birth. He abolished the free from the serfdom. He removed guild restrictions. He improved the transporting system.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
He also implemented the administrative system in France, and he gave the right to privilege, and he reserved the people from their all the debt rates which they have from the peoples, and give them surpluses, and he imposed the censorship to get joined in the army, and he wanted to achieve to warn the other countries of Europe.
Yes. My next question is for Fatima. How French government, which steps are taken by French government to establish sense collective of belongingness in France?
In France, following steps were taken by French government to establish a collective sense of belongingness. Romanticism was also a method to spread the idea of nationalism among the people through romantic poets, romantic folk tales, folklores, etc., and also through liberals spread the idea of nationalism to all over the France to liberalize the country and make a nation state.
Yes. Yes, Khushbu.
New hymns and oaths were taken. Internal custom duties were also removed. And the new flag was implemented.
New tricolor flag was also introduced. Okay, Pratibha, what do you understand by resource?
Resource means that which can satisfy the human need, which should be economically feasible and culturally accessible.
Sohail.
and economically accessible.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Everything in the environment which satisfy our human need, which is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable are called resources.
can be termed as resources. Very good. Fatima, what do you understand by international resource? Give examples.
International resources are those which are not in the boundary of our country. That's like waterways, waterways.
Khushbu.
International resources, the resources which are 200 nautical miles beyond the Indian Ocean, and the oceanic resources are international resources beyond 200 nautical.
Sahid Jamal.
And whomever the country achieve or get invented means who got a particular material, like India got to extract magnesium nodules from international coastal lines.
Which organization control it?
United States.
United Nations. Beyond 200 kilometers of exclusive economic zone is called international resource. Okay. For Pratibha, what was the object of Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit of 1992?
Rio de Janeiro summit was that for the resource extracting, trees should be not cut. Means the resource should be sustainable, which cannot damage the environment. In Rio de Janeiro, more than 100 countries are participated.
Okay. Sahid.
Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit is placed in 1992, and in this 100 of the countries leaders come and signed the UNDPE, United Nations Development Environmental Program, and he implemented the Agenda 21. By this, he gave the information to adopt the Agenda 21 in the local government, like in the local basis of Panchayat Raj, they have to implement their own local Agenda 21.
Yes. Agenda 21 was the outcome of Rio de Janeiro Summit. Okay. My next question is for Sohail. Describe alluvial soil.
Alluvial soil is a very fertile soil, which is their soil is loamy, and it is present in the northern eastern part of area where rain is regularly held. Regularly means seasonally held, and in which we find the lime and it present in the Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, in this coastal plain, and
Fatima.
It is rich in humus and it is rich in nutrients like potash, phosphoric acid and lime, and it is deposited at Himalayan rivers. It composed of silt, sand and clay.
Yes, Pratibha.
It is humus rich, that's why in its sugar cane, fatty and wheat are grown.
Khushbu.
It is also part of a Himalayan river system like Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, and the delta region like Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari.
Yes, very good. My next question is for Sohail. Classification of resource on the basis of origin.
classification of resource on the basis of origin is biotic and abiotic. Biotic means it is composed of the all living things like animal and human, and abiotic components is non-living things which composed like example water and air.
Yes. Sahid Jamal. Classify the resources on the basis of exhaustibility.
In the basis of exhaustibility, there is the renewable resources and non-renewable resources. In renewable resources are those which can be renewed by the process of chemically, physically or mechanically. Like in the example, renewable resources are like water.
Solar energy.
Solar energy, wind energy, they are present in the Gujarat and Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu. And the non-renewable resources are those resources which got by the many years of the work, like the coal and petroleum. They are extracted from the earth and they can't be renewed. And on the after some time they got exhausted, like petrol and coal.
Cool. Yes.
There are two sub-units of renewable resources like flowing or continuous resources. The resources which always be replaceable, they did not be exhausted like wind energy and solar energy. And biological resources, the resources which are extracted by the biological process like flora and fauna. And there are two sub-units of non-renewable resources, recyclable and non-recyclable. The recyclable resources which can be recycled but it gets exhausted, and non-recyclable resources which cannot be recyclable, it we can use at single times.
Yes. Again and again. Okay, Fatima. Classify the resource on the basis of ownership.
On the basis of ownership, there are four types of resources. First, that is community resources. First is private resources.
Individual resource.
Individual resources, which is owned by a particular individual, and it is a private. For example, like plot, building, etc. And second is community resources, which is owned by a particular community of an area. It includes like public parks, swimming pools, rivers, etc. And third is national resources. The national resources includes all those things which come under the boundary of the country. Its example are wildlife sanctuary, national parks, and fourth one is international resources, which are beyond our Indian Ocean, and its example is ocean water.
Yes.
हाथ
मैं-
उठा-
Sahid Jamal.
सब लोग हाथ उठा रहे हैं.
In the national resources are those resources which come before the 12 nautical miles, which can be used by the particular country. Like India, India got the permission to extract the oil from Indian Oil Limited, and those are international resources which come after the 1200 nautical miles. Like India got the permission to extract magnesium nodules in the international coastal areas.
Yes.
खुशबू भी हाथ उठा रही थी. हो गया. चलिए.
Okay, Pratibha. What is potential resource?
Potential resource are those resources which are not being used, means their quantity and quality has been identified, but we are not using that resource. That are potential.
Yes, Fatima. What is developed resource?
Developed resource are those quality and quantity are determined for utilization but has not been utilized yet.
Yes. For Khushbu, define stock and reserve resource.
Stock
Manoj को
resources,
बुलाओ.
the resources which are available in available, but we don't have appropriate technology to use it, like hydrogen from water. And reserve resources, the resources which are available and we have a technology to utilize, but we can't use.
For Sahid Jamal, what is sustainable development?
Sustainable development tells that we have to use the resources in the means to satisfy our needs, but not in the inappropriate manner, so that the future generation can't get it. It is called sustainable development.
Yes. So hey, what is Agenda 21?
The Agenda 21 is of the resources which is used in the limited and it is not under one individual, because it began the idea of means war and disease.
Yes, Fatima.
It was an act which was signed at United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, signed by 100 countries at Rio de Janeiro in 1992. Its main aim was to protect the environment and socio-economic development.
Khushbu.
It's also a must. Every local government should have made their own local Agenda 21.
Yes. Sahid Jamal. The resource are depleted fastly in our world. What was the factor behind it?
There is due to the means Gandhiji said that there is
खड़ा हो
enough
जाओ भाई।
resource.
खड़ा रहेगा, खड़ा होके देखो सीधा,
There is enough resource present to satisfy anyone
ढंग
needs,
से खड़ा हो जाओ।
but not that much for animal greed. And due to the over exploitation and unequal access use of the land, the resources are used in the unequal quantity, and for this to conserve it we have to use like afforestation, because the population is increasing very fast amount, so that we have to cut the trees present in the areas and place the buildings and homes for their livelihood.
Okay, Khushbu, what was three steps of resource planning in India?
The 3 steps of resource planning was taken by the government. First, mapping, surveying of the resources and quantity and quality of the resources. Second, planning for the resources, planning for the appropriate technology, skills and institutional setup. And third, planning search for that resources were helpful for the overall development of the nation.
Yes. Three step identification, planning structure and overall development. Okay. Pratibha, how land is a resource and what was its limitation?
Land was a resource because from land we can get many things such as crop and also some resource or matter. Its limitation is that this cannot be carried one place to another.
Yes, Fatima.
Land can be a resource because from land we get everything like soil. We live on land.
Accessibility.
It provides us a base for the development, and we get minerals, like many useful metals like coal and petroleum, and what was the next question?
What was its limitation?
And its limitation is due to over exploitation, it was degrading day by day. This is called land degradation.
Yes, Khushbu.
Land resources also depletion due to mining, crushing of limestones or other mineral resources in industries, due to liquid sewage and the dust which is thrown on land.
And the limitation of land is that land is an asset of finite magnitude. We cannot extend the land. Okay? Sahil Jaman, what is land utilization?
Land utilization is means the use of land, like 43% of Indian land is used in the plain areas for their livelihood. 27% of areas is the plateau area from which the agriculture takes place, and 30% of the areas are those which are the mountainous area. And land is used as fallow land, net sown area. Like fallow land are those land which is not used for the cultivation, and then there is a barren land which is used for agriculture between 1 to 5 years. No, barren lands are those where the agriculture do not take place for 1 to 5 years, and then there is a net sown area on which the people lives, and we got the infrastructure of development and agriculture take place.
And fallow and current fallow land?
Current fallow land are those where only 2 times the agriculture takes place in 1 year, in less than 1 year, and non-current fallow land are those land where the agriculture do not take place between 1 to 5 years.
Yes. So Fatima, what was the cause of land degradation and what can be used for measures?
There are the following cause of land degradation. First, deforestation. Cutting of trees lead to land degradation. Second, overgrazing of animals. Third, overexploitation of land. Fourth, increasing mining and quarrying. and fifth,
Mineral processing industry.
industrialization.
And
And we can reduce its limitation by following ways: by afforestation, by proper discharge and dispose of waste from industries, by treatment, by sewage treatment, and by reducing pollution, and by reducing soil erosion and reducing overuse.
yes, Khushbu.
Land is conserved by when we grow the thorny bushes in the arid regions and center beds.
Yes, Pratibha. Soil is an important resource. Explain.
Soil is really an important resource because from soil we get many things such as from soil everything is just developed, and from soil we can get crops and etc. And inside the soil we can get resources such as minerals, metals, etc.
Yes, Sohail.
And it provides us many minerals which is useful in our life, and we that from this help we grow crop for our food.
Yes.
Soil is a renewable resource which is renewed in which is made by the many of the minerals over the year, and it is used in the sufficient amount, like we use in the agriculture and for our livelihood, and to give the rehabilitation to the poor people.
And also it supports different type of living organism, and it is a living system. Okay, Sahid Jamal. On the basis of factor responsible of the formation, how many type of soils found in India?
There is 4 type of soil: alluvial soil, black soil, arid soil, and red and yellow soil, laterite soil. 5 types of soil.
Forest soil. 6 type of soil.
6 types.
Fatima, explain black soil.
Black soil is mainly found in the Deccan region and in Plateau region, Malwa Plateau, and in Gujarat region. It is very good for growing cotton crops. It is rich in humus, but it lacks phosphoric acid, but it is rich in other nutrients like calcium carbonate, and it is composed of clay. It is clay form of soil, and it is.
Yes. Khushbu.
Black soil is known as the regular soil, and the cotton soil, it is similar to duck. When the hot weather comes in, the soil becomes, the cracks comes between the soil and the soil becomes wet. It holds the moisture of the soil, and it is found in the Chhattisgarh, Malwa, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Regular soil is made by the lava molds, and it contains also magnesium carbonate.
Yes. It develops deep cracks during hot weather and sticky when wet. Okay. My next question is for Sahid Jamal. Red and yellow soil. Explain.
Red soil and yellow soil, like red, the soils are those which contain the presence of iron in the crystal form. That's why the color change in the red, and the soils become yellow because of the hydrated form. They are present on the northeastern area where low rainfall takes place, and they are used in the agricultural land.
आप लोग को जो भी बोलना हो माइक पे बोला करें, माइक बोलने के लिए क्या अभी बोल रहे थे बताइए ऐसे।
Points are बोल दीजिए।
चलिए तो आप थोड़ा ध्यान दिया करिए वो लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं।
Okay. Pratibha, define laterite soil.
Laterite soil is a type of soil which contain less humus. In this soil, mostly groundnut and cashew are grown. This soil are mostly found This soil are rich in salt. That's why, and this soil are found in Kerala like region. It requires much water.
Fatima.
It is formed due to intensive leaching.
Yes. Yes, Khushbu.
It is found in tropical and subtropical region. It is useful for the growing of the tea and coffee in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, and it is helpful for growing cashew nut in Madhya Pradesh, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Sohail, explain arid soil.
Arid soil is a type of soil which contain most of the most of the soils in which soils and it required more irrigation for their fertile and it found in the northern eastern coast plain and in which we grow a crop for required more irrigation of water.
Fatma.
It has low humus content and it is composed of sandy soil, and on this soil only crops can be grown in Rajasthan area through appropriate agricultural method.
Khushbu.
It is found in the lower horizon because due to desert climate there is a more abundant.
Yes.
It also contains the common salt in some places.
Yes. It's saline. It's
Saline in nature.
naturally saline. Okay, Pratibha, define forest soil.
Forest soil are those soil which are found in forest, and this soil are fertile. Mainly the forest soil are fertile and it is rich in humus and moisture.
Yes, Khushbu.
Forest soil is found mainly in the hilly and the mountainous region. It is also found in the lower horizon of the river traces. It is saline in nature, more acidic and less humus.
Yes, Sahil Jamal.
It is present on the places where high rainfall takes place.
Yes, Fatima, what is soil erosion and how shall we conserve it?
When the top part of topsoil is removed from a land by the action of wind or water or human activities, then it can be referred to as soil erosion. Soil erosion can be done by water and wind. Through wind it erodes. When wind blows in higher speed, it blows away the upper fertile layer of soil, causing its soil erosion. And through wind, when flood came with higher speed, then it eroded the soil.
Yes, Sahil Jamal.
In the soil erosion, the top cover of soil उसको हटा दिया जाता है, and the new soil generated, they are take place simultaneously.
Yes, Khushbu.
The topsoil of the land is removed, then it is acid erosion. And when the soil is removed by the flowing water, then it is also called a gullies and bad lands known as ravines, which is formed in chamber acid.
Yes. For Sohail, what are the ways to solve the problem of land degradation?
From the solving of land degradation, there are many steps are following. First, afforestation, and second for growing plant on a larger scale, and third we use land for a limited estates.
Yes, Khushbu.
Control on liquid sewage and wastage, control on mining, overgrazing on land.
Yes. For Sahil Jamal. What is bhangar and khadar?
Bhangars are those which are when the water is come from the Himalayan rivers, then there is a bhangar and khadar which pure the water from the big rocks, and the bunkers are those which are pure the water from the small rocks. Bhangars are Bhangars are mainly present in the Gangas region.
Fatma.
Bhangars are old alluvial soil, while Khadar are new alluvial soil. Khadar is more fertile than Bhangar, and Khadar has more fine particles than Bhangar. It is more rich in humus.
Yes. So my next question is for Khushbu. What do you understand by feminist? Feminist.
Feminist is a term of the government which thought about the people to liberate it and her rights.
Khushbu, please, sorry, Fatma.
Feminists are those people who think about that there should be equality among women and men, and they should be given equal rights and not to be discriminated on the basis of gender.
Yes. Feminists are those who believe in equal right and opportunity for women and men. Okay. Sohail, what was the child sex ratio in India in 2001 census and why? What was the child sex ratio in 2001 census?
Sir, the sex ratio is not it is not recalled to me.
927 female over 1000 male means there are a serious problem of child sex ratio. Why it is occurred? Why problem of child sex ratio happen in India? Fatima.
It happened because many people aborted girl child before she was born. Therefore, it led to the declination in the child sex ratio.
Yes. Sahid Jamal. What is communalism? Communalism.
Communists are those who believe to give the equal rights to girls and give education.
Atma.
Communalists are those who believe that only a particular religion is superior than other religion, and they followed the follower of a particular religion can belong to the same community.
Yes, communist means a party take advantage of one religion over others. Okay, my next question is for Pratibha. How India was a secular country?
India was a secular country because in India power is divided in small portion, and here is multi-party system, so that power is not conserved in one place. The power is divided into state, panchayat raj, and etc.
Yes, Khushbu.
Government do not give priority to any one religion or any one language, and India has no any national language or national religion. Anyone who want to accept a religion or the people want to eat religious, then it becomes because government do not get opportunity.
Yes, Fatima.
India has provided its all citizens the freedom to practice, profess any religion which they want, or also they don't want. And India also provides that it can intervene between the religious issues to ensure the equality among religious communities.
Yes, Sahid Jamal. Explain the reason for the declining of caste system in India.
In caste system there is we talk about the Muslim and Hindu. They discriminate between the by saying that my religion is superior than others, and
Anyone else? Yes, Atma.
Now, caste system has reduced to a great extent because of the following reasons. Many social reformers like Jyotiba Phule, B.R. Ambedkar, Ramaswamy Naikar, etc. had worked for it, and they improved evil things from the society, from the religions, and second one is literacy. Literacy rate has increased among the people, and people were become aware of that, and they came to know that untouchability is an evil thing, and this should not be done.
Yes, And another factor is urbanization. In urban, there are very low caste system. Okay. My next question is for Sohail. Define one party system.
One party system means where government is not elected by the government, means public. One
No. Anyone else? Yes, Pratibha.
One party system means only one party can control the whole country. In one party system, only the national means only one party has the power which controls the whole country. There is not the power sharing. The power is not divided into several states,
Example of one party state.
such as South Korea.
Fatima.
Its best example is China.
China. Okay. My next question is for Sahid Jamal. What is multi-party system and where it is practiced?
Multi-party system are those parties like India. India got the multi-party system because in India there is vast amount of diversity, and there is not any single religion person lives in India, so that they have their own.
बंद करके चालू कर कोई उठाओ अपना किसी का चालू है क्या चलो बोलो
So that they, all of the people have their own thinkers and their own thinking. That's why the multi-party system. It means more than two government exist in the India, and public opinion gives shape to the political parties.
Yes. Yes, Khushbu.
USA is also example of the multi-party system because
Give me the example of two-party system.
two-party system.
India is the example of
multi-party
multi.
because more than two government control over the country.
Okay. Khushbu. Which are the modern form of money?
The modern form of the money was the paper notes, coins, and check.
Yes. Fatima, what is barter system?
In barter system, there was a direct exchange of goods. Means the goods which we want to exchange from the other, and he have the same goods that we want to exchange. This is called double coincidence of parts. But there is a very less chance of double coincidence of parts. At some places it lacks. Therefore, money was introduced as a medium of exchange.
Yes. Pratibha, what is a check?
Check is a form of money which is in the form of a paper. It is a modern form of money. In check we write the name of person whom we have to give and the amount of money whatever we want to give, and that check is deposited in bank, and on check there is a sign which estimates that this is a real check, and this is deposited in bank, and that person who have to take money, then that money go to his account.
Yes, Sohail.
And it is used instead of money, cash money.
Yes. It's avoid the use of money in transaction. Okay. Sahid Jamal, what was used as money in early age in India?
In early age in India, money is used as golden coin, silver coin, and copper coins. Like the Sikandar Mahan who introduced the copper coin in the ancient time.
Yes. Anyone else? There was also use of grains, cattle, cowrie, etc. Okay. Fatima, what is a debt trap?
Debt trap is a condition in which, people, when a person take loan from another person and he is unable to repay the loan at a given time, then his debt kept on increasing because of the higher interest charged on it, and therefore we can say that situation is considered as debt trap.
Yes. Next question is for Khushbu. How to bank earn money?
When the people have more the bank and the bank get interest, and for the depositors, bank take interest also, and the bank give money to the borrowers. They take interest from the borrowers and they earn money from the depositors.
Pratibha.
Which money do the depositor they give, their interest rate is low, and which money and that money which bank give to the borrower, that interest rate is high, and this difference make the bank to earn money.
Yes. My next question is for Fatima. Why we accept modern form of money?
We accept modern form of money because of the following reasons. First, it is authorized by our government and it is legalized. Second, currency can be in the form of paper notes, coins, etc. Third, it is issued by the Reserve Bank of India, which and legalized by it. Fourth, it is accepted in our country as a medium of exchange.
Yes, Khushbu.
RBI issue currency on the behalf of central government.
Yes. We accept modern currency because it is authorized by government of India. Okay. My next question is for Sohail. Describe the loan activities of bank.
The loan activity of bank, the borrower who need money, who take loan from the bank, and bank gave him on high interest, and also some rules and regulation from there is when you gave money from the bank in the form of loan, then you have to pay and on the time, and also where from, and instead of money you have to pay some means some papers of your lands.
Yes, Sahid Ahmad.
Money give the bank give the money on the formal sector.
लोग किसी का अर्थ ले रहा है, बोलो.
In which they give them in the low interest rate, and behalf of taking the money they get the collateral and document, and to get the promise of to take the money, and if someone not repay the money, then they take the collateral and sell them and get the money.
Yes, Khushbu.
RBI functioning the cash balance of the bank, and the bank also submit information to how much loan give to the borrower at what per interest.
Yes, Fatima.
In order to take a loan from a bank, we have to fulfill its terms and condition of credit, which include method of payment, mode of repayment, and rate of interest, and the duration of credit, and also some documentation requirements like collateral.
Yes. And also bank charge a higher interest rate on loan than what they offer on deposit. This was the source of income for banks. Okay. Khushbu. What is terms of credit?
Terms of credit include collateral, documentation, mode of repayment, and interest rate. Collateral is the asset the borrower which have, and the interest rate the borrower takes the loan per what rate says, and documentation is the paperwork, and mode of repayment means the borrower paid the loan in the form of installment and in the form of receipt and then half.
Yes, there are 4 terms of credit: document, collateral, mode of payment, and interest rate. Okay, Fatima, how can loan give a positive impact on anybody's livelihood? How can loan impact a positive role in transaction?
Loan or credit can be good or bad on the basis of situation. take a loan for development purpose, like for a farmer has taken a loan and his crops grown very well, and he has a good benefit. Then we can say that it is a good credit. But if his crop failure, then there is chance that he will in the debt trap, and so we can say that it depends on the situation whether the loan will be useful or not.
Yes, loan is useful, helpful in small businessmen and traders. Okay. Next question is for Sai Jamal. Why one cannot refuse a payment made in rupees in India?
Because it is given by the Reserve Bank of India on the behalf of central government, in which none of the one can refuse to get the money as a use of exchange of medium, and it is mainly used in India. And if anyone refuses to take the money, then there is a action government take action on that paper.
Yes, Fatima.
Because it is authorized by the government of India and regulated by its law.
Okay, so hey, what is formal sector of credit? Formal sector of credit.
Formal sector of credit means you have to take a credit or loans from the bank on the basis of rules and regulations. If you have to take money from the bank, then you have to follow this type of rules.
Pratibha.
In the sorry, repeat the question.
What is formal sector of credit?
Formal sector of credit means when we take loan from bank or cooperatives, and in it many things are being followed, such as documents are required, mode of repayment are required, collateral are seen, that if you had sufficient, if you are taking money, then how can you will take it return? How will you will return it? And these things are required in the formal sector of money.
Yes, Fatima.
And also the interest rate.
Interest rate is low.
Fatima, describe informal sector loans.
In informal sector loans, it mainly include money lenders, traders, and rich people in village. Mainly peasants borrow money from money lenders and large farmers because they don't have any collateral to take loan from bank. So they use informal sector. In informal sector, they charge higher interest, and they also use unfair means if their loan are not paid at a given time. So this is not fair means of taking loan.
Yes, Sai Jamal.
In the informal sector, there is no collateral for any objection or promises, and they give the money whenever they want.
Yes, Pratibha Singh.
In formal sector, there is much chances that the person who is taking loan can be go in the debt side.
Okay. Khushbu.
In informal sector, there is no organization which maintaining cash balance or submit information about it.
Yes. So, Khushbu, how Reserve Bank in India supervise the functioning of formal source of loan?
RBI issued currency paper on the behalf of the central government of the India. No one or no any organization allowed to issue currency, or the RBI currency was not legally refused by the any organization. RBI maintain the cash balance of the formal sector. It also take acts on the formal sector of the loan when the people don't repay at the time.
Yes.
By the RBI, they regulate that how much the bank gives money, means loan to borrowers, and on which interest rate, and they also regulate manipulate the depositor to give them the interest rate, and they charge the high interest rate from the borrowers, and also they give money. There is the main agenda is not to get only profit. They also give money to small scale industries and so that they can get the so that they have the part in the economical health, like in GDP of our country.
Yes, very good. RBI ensure that loan not just to profit making business and traders but also a small cultivators. And also it's monitor the bank in actually maintaining cash balance. Okay. Fatima, why uneducated people of India take loan from informal sector?
Uneducated people take loan from mainly informal sector because
ले जाओ,
they are
इधर है,
uneducated,
animal.
as they are uneducated and they don't know about the formal sector properly, and also they lack collateral with and documentation requirement which is required by the formal sector to give the loan, and therefore they also don't know how to complete the document at given time, and therefore they took loan from informal sector like money lenders and small rich farmers.
Yes, sorry.
And also you have to believe on their friends and relatives.
So my next question is for Khushbu. What do you mean by term collateral?
Collateral is assets. When the borrower takes the loan from the any formal sector, when they didn't pay at a time, then the collateral was taken by the lenders.
Until the loan is repaid. Okay. My next question is for Fatima. Give an example to show that double coincidence of bond is necessary in barter system.
Double coincidence of what is necessary in barter system. Like for example, if we want to get a shoe, then a person having shoe and he has grains and he want to sell grain, then there should be requirement that I should also have the requirement of grains. I should also have the grains to sell it so that he can exchange it with shoes that is required to me. So by this example we can say that it is very necessary in barter system.
Yes, so double coincidence of bond is necessary in barter system.
मनोज जी देखिए ये लोग सो गया क्या? तुम लोग तो ऐसे चेयर पे बैठे हो, लग रहा है कि जैसे मुंबई से सफ़र करके ट्रेन में बिहार आ रहे हो। मुंबई से ट्रेन पकड़ के जब बिहार में लोग आते हैं तो ट्रेन में इसी तरह से बैठ जाते हैं जनरल बॉगी में, उसी तरह से दृश्य नज़र आ रहा है। कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है सीखने का, नींद हावी है एजुकेशन को रोकने के लिए, कोई अपना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। कहाँ बैठे हैं, चंद अभी 2 घंटा भी नहीं हुआ और तुम्हारा दृश्य लग रहा है कितना थकान हो गया।
My next question is for Sohail. What are demand deposit? Demand deposit.
Demand deposit is held where
नौ महीने से तेल आदमी
if you have to take loan from the banks, then
Khushbu.
For instance, we take the example of the people who have earned money and they deposit his money on the bank and they have a provision to take money when they require or withdrawn. It is called a demand deposit.
Yes, when a person has surplus money, he deposit this surplus money in bank, and also he gets some interest on their deposit, and when he require, he can withdraw their money. Okay. Fatima, what is self-help group?
Self-help group was a group of 50 to 20 people belonging to a same community, same social and economic environment or neighborhood, they come together to save money. They keep saving each day, and they can take loan from themselves if they require. And after when their saving is sufficient to take loan from bank, they can take loan from bank.
Yes, Khushbu.
In self-help group, especially women were included, and self-help group gives a small amount of the loan.
Yes.
In self-help group helps the women on the issue of their health and on their education, to giving them education and take care of their health, like their children who are girls, because of there is mainly abortion or gender discrimination take place in the village areas.
Yes, and also the member of self-help group pool their money and take loan of its member in low interest rate. Okay. My next question is for Pratibha. How do farmers get into debt trap?
Farmer, I will explain it with an example. So we can take an example of a farmer. So we can take an example of a farmer. Farmer want to sow his field. So he is taking a loan of 10,000 from informal sector, 10,000, and if his crop would be not better, then he have debt. Then he have debt of 11,000, 1,000 much for interest. And if he do the same thing in next year, for next year he also wants some loan, so that he take a loan, and if his crop will be good, then mostly he or she can earn 25,000. So they can return the money which whatever that was, and for next year they don't have money. So by this they come in debt cycle.
Yes, usually a farmer take loan on beginning of the season, and sometimes the failure of crop make loan repayment impossible. They need trap in debt trap. Okay. My next question is Fatima. Why do we need to expand formal sources of credit in India?
We need to expand formal sources of credit in India because without introducing it, people will take loan from informal sector, which is not good, because in informal sector money lenders use unfair means and also exploit the lenders, exploit the borrowers, because they are unable to pay the given amount at a given period of time. Therefore, it is very necessary for their improvement, and so that they can get loan at lower rate of interest.
Yes, Khushbu.
Mostly when people take loan from the informal sector, they got into the debt trap. So prevent from the debt trap, informal sector is necessary, and to prevent from the higher rate of interest, because when a person go into a debt trap, it is difficult to repay the loan again.
Yes, Sai.
Mainly farmers take the loans from the cooperatives, because cooperatives take at the low interest rate, and the banks and cooperatives make the Kisan credit card and for their insurance and their crop insurance if the failure takes place. That's why they have to take the formal sector, because in formal sector they can't get into debt trap.
Okay.
2 मिनट के लिए आप लोग पानी, एक शॉर्ट ब्रेक, पानी वगैरह पी लीजिए आप लोग। हाँ, मुझे तो ये बड़ा हैरत अंगेज दृश्य देखकर, खास करके तुम ऑडियंस में बैठे हो, कि जब ऐसे माहौल में तुम्हारी ये स्थिति है, तो थोड़ा गड़बड़ माहौल हो तुम्हारी क्या स्थिति होगी। गार्ड साहब, मनोज जी आगे आइए, मनोज जी आ गए ये आप।
इसी बच्चे को दिन भर टीवी देखने बोल दिए।
अभी टीवी अगर चालू करके मैं बैठा दूं 2 बजे रात तक तो तुम्हारा पलक भी नहीं झपकेगा, और पढ़ाई की बातें हो रही हैं तो तुम्हें नींद आ रही है। एक भी अगर यहाँ पर लेट आपका काम है, नाम बताए, आप इशारा करेंगे और उसको हम चेयर के ऊपर खड़ा करेंगे ताकि उसके माता पिता भी देखें कि ये चेयर पे क्यों खड़ा है। यहाँ कैमरा घुमाएंगे। बेशर्मी का हद हो गया। मैं सोचता हूं कि थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ माहौल होगा तो तुम किस स्थिति में चले जाओगे, मैं कल्पना करके घबरा रहा हूं। अभी पेरेंट्स एक बैठे थे, बोले थे सब टीवी देख रहा था, और डिबेट के टाइम सबको नींद आने लगा। आप बताइए हमको कौन सा। आप इधर उधर मत जाइए, आपका ड्यूटी है यहाँ, आप क्यों उठते हैं? आप बार बार हट करके इधर चले जा रहे हैं, उधर चले जा रहे हैं। नहीं, आपका ड्यूटी, पीछे में दूसरा गार्ड लगा हुआ है, वहां पर दूसरा आदमी, आप एकदम यहीं पे देखिए कौन सा होता है, बताइए। थोड़ा उसको हम चेयर के ऊपर खड़ा करें, 5 फीट की जगह 7 फीट लंबा करें, थोड़ा दूर से नजर आएगा 7 फीट लंबा कौन बच्चा है। पेरेंट्स भी मोबाइल को जूम करके देखेंगे कि ये स्कूल में इतना लंबा कौन आ गया। स्टार्ट करिए।
Okay, next question. Who was Muhammad Yunus and why he remembered today? Khushbu.
Mohammed Yusuf was the founder of the Grameen Bank. He get Nobel Prize in 2006 and he declared one law in 2018 and 9 million people attend this law, approx 81,600 villages.
Yes, right, Iman.
In Grameen Bank, he started with the 20 and 52 people, and then now there is 9 million people are together to work on this Grameen Bank Yojana, and 81,600 houses are also connected.
मनोज जी बंद करिए भाई, ये काहे तुम्हारे वाले में हो रहा है?
नहीं, वो कार्बन ले रहा है उसकी वजह से।
कोई जरूर अर्थ पकड़ा, इसको दीजिए, तो इसको शाहिद को दीजिए। इससे बोलेंगे आप, उससे थोड़ा मत बोलिए, फिर देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है।
Yes, Muhammad Yunus started Grameen Bank of Bangladesh, which was the biggest self-help group of the world. Okay, my next question is for
सुहेल,
Sahih Jamal. What is primitive subsistence farming?
Primitive subsistence farming are those which are commonly the primitive tools are used, and it is also called as slash and burn agriculture.
सोहेल
Slash and
एक
burn
बराबर
agriculture in the
कम बेसी ना।
it is called as zooming in the area of northeastern states, and milpa in Mexico, roca in Brazil, and in the primitive subsistence farming large amount of irrigation system take place, and it is the labor intensive farming.
Yes, Sohail.
In primitive farming, we grow crops only for
Only for?
on eat and consume.
Yes, Khushbu.
In primitive subsistence farming, people use the primitive tools like dao.
Yes.
It is done on a small patch of land.
A small plot of land and is fully dependent on natural conditions like monsoon, natural fertility of soil, etc. Okay. Farmer, what is plantation farming?
Plantation farming is a type of farming in which a same type of plant is grown at a large scale, and it is done mainly for commercial purpose, for earning money.
Yes. It is a capital intensive farming and well-developed network of transport and communication is also required. Okay. So here, which 3 type of crop is grown in India? Which is 3 cropping season in India?
3 season.
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 Cropping season.
only in summer, winter, and we.
Yes, Fatma.
Three cropping seasons are Kharif, Rabi and Zaid.
Yes, define Kharif.
In Kharif seasons, Kharif crops like rice is grown. It is mainly grown in winter season, sown in winter season and cultivated in
Sown in onset of monsoon in June, July.
And it is cultivated with the onset of winter.
And the irrigation source of Kharif is irrigation source.
Rainwater.
Rainfall. Okay, Sahid Jamal. Describe Rabi season.
In Rabi season, it is take place in the month of month of May, June and July,
October, November.
October, November, and sown in the month of March, and harvested in the month of March. And Rabi crops are like wheat and paddy crops. And it is western cyclone are used as for the irrigation system.
And canals.
Yeah.
Khushbu, explain Jaid cropping season.
The crops which were grown on the March, April, and it becomes harvested on May, June. That crop include watermelon, muskmelon, vegetables, etc. And for irrigation system, it required a tube well and for artificial irrigation.
Yes. Sohail, what is Aus, Aman and Boro?
Osaman Boro is also known as Kharif, Rabi, and Zaid in Assam.
Sahid Jamal.
Asaman Boro is told as those crops which are harvested in all the seasons. All three seasons are in the Odisha, Assam, and Andhra Pradesh.
Yes.
Os, Aman and Boro are the variety of paddy crops.
Yes. Due to abundance of water in some area, there are three crops of paddy grown in a year. This is called Os, Aman and Boro. Pratibha, describe the geographical feature of rice.
The rice is a kharif crop. It is sown in the month of June and July, and cutted in winter in the month of February, about February.
Anyone else? Yes, Sohail.
And it required large rainfall and about 100 centimeter, and it required temperature approx 20 to 25.
25 degrees. Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Most producing states are Bihar, Uttar Pradesh.
Sohail, what is millets? Millets.
Millets is a type of crop in which we grown like chana.
Anyone else? Yes, Pratibha.
Millets are those crops in which the nutrition amount is much, such as cashew, groundnut.
Fatma.
Millets are fodder crops. It is highly rich in nutrients.
Khushbu.
Millets is a fodder crop, includes jowar, bajra or ragi. Ragi is a macronutrient crop which is grown in a black soil, red soil, loamy soil and fertile soil. And bajra is also grown on a red soil, black soil, and jowar is also
Mayank
grown
bheja,
red
Mayank.
and black soil. It is found in Maharashtra, West Bengal, Orissa, Chhattisgarh.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Jowar is the third largest crop which is sown in India, and it needs less amount of irrigation system. Like the jute bags are got from the jowar, and mostly Paschim Bengal, Rajasthan, those are the crops, and pulses are also the part of the jar.
जब डाला ना तो बढ़ डाला
No, pulses are not
यही पर
included.
मिलेगा नहीं इसमें
In millet there are three type of crops: ज्वार, बाजरा and ragi. Khushbu, name some major pulses grown in India.
Tur, her groundnut, peanut, and some major crops grown in some major pulses grown in India. Pulses are a numerous crop which require effort.
Groundnut is not a pulse.
जो मन ना लगेगा
Peanut,
हॉस्पिटल
Peanut.
स्टेशन में डाला बेटी अच्छा मान
her moong, urad, and the pulses.
Masoor, gram, wheat, etc. Okay. Pulses is a leguminous crop. Explain.
It's because pulses need a less irrigation system. It is mostly cultivated in the area where like Rajasthan and Gujarat, and it is rich content of nutrients like mostly the proteins, and only one crop is not leguminous, which is tur. Arhar, tur.
Okay, Sohail. Why agriculture is important of our country? Why agriculture is important?
Agriculture is very important in our country because most of the people depend upon agriculture in rural areas. It provides us food, and many poor people depend upon the agriculture.
Yes, Khushbu.
2/3 people of our country is dependent on agriculture.
Yes. Anyways, it also provides raw material for industries. Okay, Pratibha, describe sugarcane crops.
Sugarcane crops are mostly grown on alluvial soil. It take almost one year or whole year to grow. These crops sugarcane are found in those areas where water is insufficient amount, such as Kerala, but it also can found in some regional regions.
Anyways, yes, Fatima.
Sugarcane requires a hard labor, and it requires a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, and it requires a large amount of rainfall, like above 100 centimeters.
Yes, 75 to 100 centimeter. Yes, right.
Mostly the sugarcane crops are transferred from the northern eastern areas to the Maharashtra because they contain the large amount of sucrose, and it is grown in the Saurashtra, Maharashtra and some of this area. And due to the getting of humid climate, the sugarcane do not have any problem to get dry.
Yes, Khushbu.
Sugarcane is a plantation farming which gives a product to the human like molasses, jaggery, khansari.
Yes, it is a tropical as well as subtropical crop. Okay. Sai Kamal, describe oil seeds grown in India. Oil seeds.
Oil seeds are those crops which are grown on the area of like Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and these like the sesame crops and the sunflower, where the mustard oil is absorbed, and which is used as our on our cooking methods, and there is
a many crop with a oil seed,
Yes.
like sesame, mustard, linseed, etc. Okay, Fatima, describe the tea crop.
Tea crop is mainly grown in Kerala, Darjeeling, and on Baba Bhudan hills. It is also a commercial type of commercial farming in which it also requires a hard labor in its plantation, and it requires large amount of rainfall, 100 centimeter, and it requires temperature up to 27 to 30 degrees Celsius.
It's not grown in Baba Bhudan hills. Coffee is grown in Baba Bhudan hills. Okay, Sahid Kamal.
tea is grown in the area of Assam, because there is a hilly area. They use the terrace farming, in which when the water is flowed from the slopy area, if the water is get contained on the small area, then the crop will be destroyed, kharab ho jayega. And mostly for their freshness, the laborers go to the tea farm to collect their leaves, and it is also the labor intensive farming.
Yes, Sohail.
And it is also called a beverage crop, and it need what continuous flowing of water.
Yes, Kurku.
Tea is grown on a laterite soil also mainly in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Yes. If process within tea garden to reduce to restore its freshness. Okay. Sohail, what are beverage crops?
Beverage crop is like tea, coffee, and it is grown in the hilly areas where it requires irrigation for continuous flowing of water, and it is mainly
तनी ए भैया तनी ये लोग के खींचो ये लोग के यहाँ से हम लोग को
Okay. Yes.
माइक 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 चेक करिए लाइट आ रहा है उसमें बोलिए
Which is used as a drinking purpose, like the fragmentation of grapes, which make the alcohol, and the others are also conserved.
There are two important beverage crops, tea and coffee. Sai Jamal explain horticulture.
The process of cultivating the vegetable and fruits are called horticulture.
Yes. Cultivation of fruits and vegetable is called as horticulture. Name some fruit and vegetable grown in India. And also name states.
Like the groundnuts and apples are grown in the Jammu Kashmir, and the vegetables are like in Bihar there is a lychee and bananas in the Kerala, and then there is a tomatoes in the Andhra Pradesh areas.
Yes. Fatima, what is non-food crop?
Non-food crops are those which are cultivated not for as a food crop. It is not used as a food. It includes like cotton, jute,
Rubber.
It is cotton is in which cotton is mainly land production.
Okay. Pratibha, describe rubber and crop.
Rubber is a not a model crop because it is not edible. This crop is mostly grown in the area of Kerala.
Heavy rainfall, like Kerala and
Kerala and Karnataka. This requires very heavy rainfall.
yes, Sohail.
And also it required humid climate for their growing.
Yes, it's required humid climate. Yes, Khushbu.
Rubber is an equatorial crop found in tropical and subtropical region. It is mainly found in the Meghalaya, in mossy crop because it is a redwood crop.
Yes, it is an important industrial crop. Okay, Sohail, what is fiber crops? Fiber crops.
Fiber crops are those type of crops which is also used for raw material of industries.
Textile industry.
Textile industries in which we have many
Cotton, jute,
silk, rubber.
not rubber. Yes, Sai.
Fiber crops are those which are used as the textile and also the clothing industry, like rayon, nylon, and the cotton, jute, which is used as taking something means like jute bags are mainly used because they are degradable and environment friendly. That's why they do not occur the biomagnification.
Okay. Khushbu, why demand of jute is decreasing in India?
Demand of food decreases in India India because when particles of India, the jute industry become separated and it goes most of in Bangladesh and jute required is decreases because jute is very expensive. Jute is very expensive and it requires more water and it is especially present in the West Bengal and on the Hooghly River.
Yes, Pratibha Singh.
Demand of jute is decreases because one of the reasons is that jute is very costly and degradable, or people are using plastic instead of jute because
Fatima.
Introduction of other artificial fabric like rayon, nylon has decreased the demand of jute.
Yes, Saidima.
Jute is decreasing because there is a synthetic fiber which are cheap in cost.
कैसे उसमें पुराना वाला में बोलो
And mostly the Brazil is the
ले आओ ये वाला है ना
Philippines are the competitors who reproduce the synthetic fiber. That's why the consumption of jute is becoming decreasing and the market of jute is decreasing. By the Act of 2005, the government takes the act to reuse the jute at a low cost, so that they can use the jute as a contemporary method.
Yes. So, demand of jute is decreasing day by day. Fatima, what steps are taken by the government to reform the agriculture sector?
पीछे हल्ला
To reform the agriculture system, following ways were taken, measures were taken. First, HIV seeds were given to the farmers to produce high yielding crops. And second, machines were modernized and modernized machines were given to the farmers so that there will be less labor requirement. And third, agriculture sector has been developed with much more less consuming labor.
Yes, Pratibha.
pesticides are given in low cost.
Khushbu.
Kisan credit card was also implemented by the government and major bulletins.
Yes, Kisan Credit Card, KCC. Okay, Sohail. What is Bhutan Gram Dan movement?
Bhutan Gram Dan movement was started by the Mahatma Gandhi in
No. Yes, Pratibha.
Bhutan Graman movement was led by Vinoba Bhave, who was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi in Pochampalli. When he went there, people demanded for land to him. Then a man named Sri Ram Kumar has stood up and declared to give land to the landless farmers. After that, many villagers were agreed to donate their village, and this movement is known as Ramdan Bhutan.
Yes, Sai.
Not many villagers, but the zamindars are those people who give the many parts of their land, and Sri Ramchandra gives 80 acres of his land to the 80 farmers.
Yes. That's why it is called Bhutan Andolan. And after that, some donate whole village.
It is also called as bloodless movement.
Bloodless movement. Yes. Sahid Jamal. In India, roadways have preceded railway. रोडवेज ने रेलवे को पीछे छोड़ दिया है, क्यों?
Because by the roadways we can take the we can transport very much large amount of the means things by the railways and by the roadways. We can get the materials on their home, by the home, but in the railways we can't get on the home. And roadways play an important role in the economic development. By the roadways, the transportation becomes easy as compared to railways.
Yes, there are also the construction of roadway is much lower than railway, and roadways can cross any higher slope or gradient territory. Compare them to railway. Okay. Khushbu, what is multi-purpose project?
नहीं है
Multi-purpose project is launched by the government to control the flood, inland navigations, and for distributed the water among the many domestic people and for agricultural use. And Pandit Jawaharlal said that the multi-purpose created a temple of modern India.
Sohail, what is the advantage of multi-purpose project?
The advantage of multi-purpose project is for conserving the water for many ways, like some areas rooftop rainwater harvesting, and we conserve it through pipe in underground water, and also it used in irrigation when we get dry.
Fatima.
It can be used in electric generation and for inland navigation and fish breeding. It is also can be used for irrigation in agriculture and for industrial use. And it can also prevent flood.
Flood control. Okay, what are the disadvantages of multi-purpose project?
The disadvantages of multi-purpose projects are following. It leads to the sedimentation at the reservoir, and second, that it disrupts the aquatic life, and third, it leads to the displacement of the people from one area to another, and fourth, sometimes it triggers the flood instead of controlling it.
Yes, Khushbu.
It also creates a earthquake, and it prevents the spawning or fish breeding, and it causes waterborne disease.
Okay. My next question is for Pratibha Singh. What is rainwater harvesting?
Rainwater harvesting is a system where the fields are irrigated by the rainwater. It is seen in rainwater harvesting. On the rooftop there is a pipe is jointed from which all the rainwater is collected into a tankas. Tankas are those where the water are accumulated for irrigation.
Sohail.
And in Tamil Nadu, it is compulsory for all the houses which are allowed by the government, and who is not able to conserve it, then he is punished by the government. And also each houses contain approx 10,000 liters in a whole year.
Yes, Khushbu.
Inundation channel was formed in West Bengal for storing rainwater for the irrigation.
Sahil.
By the rooftop harvesting, they consume 50,000 liters of water, and there is holes and schools use tankas used like and johars used in the Jaisalmer. The johars used as to produce the water in the agricultural field, and holes and schools are the subdivided by the when the dams are made, then the means रास्ता बनाया जाता है डैम से अलग करके, और then the goods and goods they are got and they are going to the agricultural field, and tankas are those which are mainly used like in as a rooftop harvesting system, in which the rainfall is absorbed in the big room. Means the tankas are made up of cement, and they are big rooms, and it is used as a cooling effect on the summer, and it is mainly used in Rajasthan. But now a time there is Indira Gandhi canals, that's why they are declining the rooftop harvesting.
Yes, it can also beat the heat summer. Okay, my next question is for Fatima. What do you understand by the term scarcity of water?
A scarcity of water is not that water is absent. It means that the usual water is not as much as compared to the demand.
Yes, Khushbu.
Water scarcity occurs when the amount of the water is less than the 1000 between 1000 and 1600 cubic meter per person per year.
Yes.
Unequal access of water in the peoples. That's when the water scarcity takes place. And by the 2025, more than 2 billion people have to suffer from the water scarcity.
Okay, Khushbu. What are the main factors of river pollution in India?
The main factor of river pollution in India were the throwing of the wastage, industrialization, urbanization. Because when industries or farmer use more pesticides, chemicals, which goes to the river, then it causes a river polluted. According to the Citizen Fifth report, Center of Science Environment, which declared that the big river like Ganga and Yamuna are far from pure, and many rivers turns into toxic stream.
Okay, Fatima. Who described dam as the temples of modern India and why?
Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru described dams as a temple of India because according to him, dam is a multi-purpose project and it can work. It has many advantages, not a single, and therefore it can be led to the development of the country.
Yes. Pratibha, what is bamboo drip irrigation?
Bamboo drip irrigation is a system of transferring the water. It is mostly seen in the hilly areas like Meghalaya and Himachal Pradesh. In this system, bamboos are joined to each other and go on that place where the irrigation is occurred. In this system, 20 liter of water occur, but only 20 to 80 drop of water will system. Water loss is very much.
Yes, bamboo drip irrigation is performed in Meghalaya. Sahid Jamal, explain Narmada Bachao Andolan.
Narmada Bachao Andolan is a Sardar Sarovar Dam built on the Narmada River, in which the people protest against the making of dams because they have their livelihood and they need the rehabilitation for clearing this vast amount of displacement of people, and there is also the very much amount of the forest trees because of the making of dams, the sedimentation occurs. That's why the Narmada Bachao.
Yes. Fatima, how are dams responsible for causing floods?
Dam is responsible for flood because sometimes the water which is collected in a dam it get overflowed, and thus the nearby area is filled with water and the water flood come in nearby area, thus it triggered a flood.
Yes. Sohail, which Nobel Prize was awarded to Professor Mohammad Yunus and when? Which Nobel Prize? किस Nobel Prize से नवाजा गया था मोहम्मद यूनुस को और कब?
In 1873.
1873. Khushbu.
Mohammad Yunus was granted the Nobel Prize in 2006 for establishment of Brahmin.
Yes.
There is Peace Nobel Prize.
Peace Nobel Prize. There is a Nobel Prize. He won for peace Nobel Prize. Okay. Sai, how do dam create conflict between people?
Because of making of dams, the vast displacement of poor people take place, and they need the rehabilitation by the government, and by the making of dams the sedimentation occurs, and they even protest against the government to getting the rehabilitation work.
Pratibha. Each rainwater harvesting practice this day in Western Rajasthan. क्या इन दिनों वेस्टर्न राजस्थान में वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग प्रैक्टिस किया जा रहा है?
In Rajasthan, rainwater harvesting was done before, not now, because in Rajasthan there is a Indira Gandhi river which can the rate of rainfall, so that rainwater harvesting is not done.
Indira Gandhi canal. Because of abundant water, there was no need of harvesting water. Okay. My next question is for Fatima. What are Kuls and Guls?
Pools and pools where channel, where a system to
कहीं को समय मिली तो संजू का है कि बना देती
in
हो
which small
बत्ती नहीं की जरूरत है
in which peat
ठीक,
is done on the
हाँ, जब समय
land
मिले,
to
6-7
store
बजे।
water.
ठीक
A
है,
small
ठीक है।
area is the land means इकट्ठा किया जाता है ताकि वहाँ
Impoundment.
impoundment बनाया जाता है land में। उसके बाद then when rainwater comes, then that is impoundment is filled with water, and hence this is a good water conservation.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
There is not rainwater, there is a flood water.
Flood water.
Yes, sir. It comes from the small stream and it goes directly to the agricultural land to cultivate the agricultural areas. They are called as Guls and Guls.
Yes, who's good?
Goods and goods were made by the people in hilly and mountainous region.
Yes, these are the diversion channel for irrigational purpose. Sahid Jamal, what do you understand by Johars and Khalins?
Johars are mainly used in the Jaisalmer, and Khalins are used in the other places of Rajasthan. It is used by the rainfall, where we consume the rainfall water and gather it in the use of agricultural land to harvest them.
Yes, agricultural field were converted into rain-fed storage structure. Okay, Fatima. Explain Indian National Congress.
Indian National Congress was a political party. It was since before independence at the time of Indira Gandhi, and its main aim was to establish secularism, and its also aim was to promote democracy.
Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Same was secularism, and it only it covers a vast amount of masses of people. It does not it is not in the favor of any party or any class.
Yes.
It was founded by the A.O. Hume in 1888. And example of the INC is UPA and
UPA is a coalition of INC. This is not the example. Okay. Pratibha, what is non-renewable resource?
Non-renewable resources are those resources which cannot be renewed again by any method like physical, chemical, and mechanical. In this resource such as coal minerals will come.
Yes. Sohail, what do you mean by resources?
The resources which satisfy our need, which is economically accessible and environmentally acceptable.
Pratibha.
Resources are those which can satisfy the human need. which should be technology accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable.
Acceptable. Okay. खुशबू, what are national parties? National parties क्या होते हैं?
The parties which was signed by the election commission. The parties election commission gives a special symbol to the parties. It is called national.
साहिल जमात.
National parties are national party. There is 6% of vote in Lok Sabha and 6% of vote in Rajya Sabha. And national party, like there is example of Bhajpa and Congress.
Not in Rajya Sabha, it is Legislative Assembly, Vidhan Sabha. Okay. Fatima, what is state party?
State parties can be formed if it is required 6%, at least 6% vote in Lok Sabha, and at least 2/3 of seat is reserved in Legislative Assembly.
It is also called regional party. Okay, Sohail. On the basis of origin, resources are classified into two types. What types?
On the basis of origin, resources are classified on the basis biotic and non-biotic. The
Biotic and abiotic.
biotic and abiotic. Biotic is a resource which contain all living things, like example, human beings and animals, and non-living things which contain abiotic resource which contain non-living things like water, air.
Khushbu, explain Bahujan Samaj Party. BSP. Anyone? काशीराम, भूल गए? मायावती का पार्टी यूपी में. It is formed in 1984 under the leadership of काशीराम. सारा पीछे का उड़ा गया. चलिए,
बोल सकता है, ऑडियंस में से बोल सकते हैं जो बोलना चाहिए. हाँ, साहिल बोलना चाहिए.
कौन ऑडियंस बोले?
साहिल खड़ा.
चलो बोलो, माइक दे दो.
नहीं, आप बोल सकते हो.
खड़े हो जाओ.
फातिमा, what is a ballad? Ballad था.
Ballad is like a poem in which a story is written like a poem. That is called ballad.
Ballads are those which increase the अपने अंदर देश के प्रति भावना को उजागर करने के लिए ballad लिखे जाते हैं.
It is a historical account or folk tale in verses, usually sung or recited.
वो वाला माइक यूज
Are
करिए.
called ballad. Which was the first choice? Which was the first book printed in Japan?
स्वर मत करिए आप लोग.
Kama Sutra.
And how it was printed?
It is printed between the wood block against the inked surface.
Yes, it was carved out by China by Buddhist missionaries. Pratibha, what was Bengal Gazette?
Bengal Gazette was the first newspaper which is written by Martin Luther,
James August.
James August Hickey, and he was the editor who edited it and transmit people against the religions. So he was executed.
Yes, Khushbu.
In 1780s, Bengal Gazette newspaper was published by the James August Hickey. He printed the gossip of the colonial government. Then the Governor General Baron Hastings persecuted him.
Fatima.
First, it was not a newspaper; it was a weekly magazine.
Yes, it's a weekly magazine. Sohail, name one paper of Bal Gangadhar Tilak.
Bal Gangadhar Tilak Kesis. thesis.
Anyone? Yes, Sahid Jamal.
Kesari.
Kesari was the newspaper written by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Okay. Khushbu. What was the main theme of Gulam Giri written by Jyotiba Phule?
The main theme of the Gulam Giri written by Jyotiba Phule was he published about the injustice of caste system.
Yes, the theme of Gulam Giri caste system. Fatima, who started publishing the Sambad Kaumudi and from when?
Sambad Kaumudi was published by Rajaram Mohan Roy. It was published in 1870.
It was published in 1821.
Yes, 1821 by Rajaram Mohan Roy. Pratibha, when was the paperback edition of book introduced in Europe? Paperback edition book.
Paperback edition book introduced in Europe in 16th century.
No, during Great Depression, because due to Great Depression there are economic crisis in all over the world. So publisher publish cheaper book, that is paper edition book. Sunny, which book was written by Kasi Baba and what was its theme?
Kasi Baba read the book of छोटे और बड़े के सवाल, and he is a meal worker and he wrote about the indiscrimination and industrialization.
Caste exploitation.
Caste exploitation.
First book. What is a manuscript? Why production of handwritten manuscript could not satisfy the ever increasing demand for book?
Manuscript was a page which was printed by the scribes who writes the scribes. It was very fragile and whether it was printed on a vellum or palm leaf, so it cannot be transported or people don't read for a long time.
Yes, Pratibha.
And it takes too much time and it is too much hard working work, so it takes time.
Yes, it is expensive, laborious and time consuming. Sohail, explain Batala publication. Batla publication, Nana print में Kolkata. So in Bengal, an entire area in central Kolkata, Kolkata was devoted to the printing of popular books. कलकत्ता का एक पूरा एरिया है जो सिर्फ प्रिंटिंग के लिए ही फेमस है. Fatima, critically examine the Vernacular Press Act of 1878.
Vernacular Act was passed which provided the government, it provided the right to censor on the vernacular newspaper to check whether what they are printing, what people are reading, so that the rebellious ideas might not spread among the people, and also they should check that if it is not being written against the colonial government. Therefore, it was passed in 1878.
Yes, Sahid.
And Bal Gangadhar Tilak is also wrote in Kesari about against the colonial rulers. That's why he was imprisoned in 1907.
Sohail, what is the basic feature of double coincidence of one?
The basic feature of double coincidence of one, if both opposite, we take the example of this, if a person which have sow and it need money for sale and a person who have grain, then he both exchange to each other and satisfy their goods.
Sahil Amal, what is double coincidence of one?
Double coincidence of fonts tells about like if any person have clothes and the second person have anything like the grains which satisfy to other people, then they exchange their things to satisfy their needs. But in the barter system, there is very less chance to get the same people to satisfy their all needs. It is called a double coincidence of fonts.
Pratibha, difference between formal lender and informal lender.
Informal lender, banks and cooperative will come. Informal lender, all things are being important, just as collateral, mode of repayment, mode of interest rate, and in informal, people take loans from the relatives and their neighbors. In informal, there is much chances to go in debt cycle. In informal, there is no document are required and the interest rate is too much high. And those people which are not literate mainly goes for informal.
Fatima, how much amount of deposit is kept as cash by the bank and why? कितना परसेंट कैश के रूप में बैंक रख लेते हैं?
Only 15% they keep in cash as for demand deposit, because people with demand deposit can withdraw money at any time.
Yes, pay depositor who might come to withdraw money. And rest of money, Sahil Jamal, how do bank use the major portion of deposit?
They fix deposited that money and give the high interest rate. Means normally they give the low interest rate, but if anyone fix deposit the money, then the bank give the person high interest rate
Yes.
to the depositor.
Next question is for Khushbu. What happens if a borrower fails to repay the loan?
When a borrower failed to repay the loan, they got into a debt trap. Because we take an example of the one farmer or agricultural person like a Swapnas who take a loan from the lenders and he promised to pay at a time, but for a crop, but her crop become fails. Then he did not have. Then she did not have any money to pay the loan again, and it is very difficult for her. Then she get into a debt trap.
Sohail, give some example of modern form of money.
The example of modern form of money is in present time we use paper money for exchange.
And
For exchange and
Khushbu.
Modern form of money include paper notes, coins, and check.
Okay. And also demand deposit. There is also a form of modern money. Next question is for Fatima. Describe relationship between religion and politics.
Religion has also a great impact on politics, because Gandhi has said that religion should be involved in politics. This doesn't mean that any particular religion should be taken, but this means that the moral value of many religions could be taken in politics.
Sai, what is multinational corporation? MNC.
MNC acknowledge the industrial development in the country, and it give the loans to the industries to get developed, and it involves in the industry to take care of their production in the whole country, and by the MNC we can spread the any single of मीन्स कोई भी सामान होगा तो उस सामान को मल्टी मतलब कि दूसरे ग्लोबल चीज पे भेजने के लिए किया जाता है। लाइक एग्जांपल ऑफ कोका कोला, फोर्ड, महिंद्रा।
MNC is a large company which tied with the small companies to earn profit and make products, and it transport all over the world. Like Bharat Food was bought by the Cargill Group.
सर जस्ट ग्लोबलाइजेशन का
ग्लोबलाइजेशन की वजह से एमएनसी के चलते ग्लोबलाइजेशन ट्रिगर हुआ। देयर मेन फैक्टर ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन इज एमएनसी। What was the reason for tension in Sri Lanka?
There was a problem in Sri Lanka because in Sri Lanka there were two people, first Tamil speaking and second Sinhala speaking. The Sinhala speaking were in majority, that were many Muslims, and in Tamil speaking it includes all religious people like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh. So the problem was that the majority the people who are in majority were dominant against the minority. Thus, it creates a problem, and it also led to massacre of many people.
Yes, Sohail.
Majority country but minority states.
ये बेल्जियम में था, श्रीलंका में बेल्जियम में ये था। ठीक, Sohail. Describe the ethnic composition of Belgium.
In the ethnic composition of Belgium, the people who speak Dutch, who is majority country, and other people speak French, who is minority whole country. But in the countryside, the Dutch, the French people speaking is majority, about 80%, and 20% is minority of Dutch.
in the Belgium there is the Flemish region and Wallonia region. In Flemish region the Dutch speaking people live, and the Wallonia region there is the French speaking people, and there is a 1% of German speaking people are there. But in the capital there is a large amount of Dutch speaking people, but the low amount of French speaking people.
Name of capital?
Brussels.
Brussels. Yes.
59% Dutch speaking people live in Flemish region, and 40% of French speaking people live in Wallonia region.
Khushbu, describe the philosophy of Satyagraha.
Satyagraha means Satya plus Agra. There is no requirement of the physical force. It can be done with the help of the non-violence. And it was led by Mahatma Gandhi.
Sahityaman.
It is broken on the Dandi. सत्याग्रह को दांडी में तोड़ा दांडी में.
Okay. Next question is for Fatima. What is the Rowlatt Act?
The Rowlatt Act, it was passed by the colonial government. According to this act said about the.
This was an unjust law. Yes, Khushbu.
The Rowlatt Act was passed by the colonial government in 1919. Rowlatt Act means anybody could be arrested without a trial in court.
Without a notice.
For 2 years.
For 2 years. Okay. Pratibha, describe the Jallianwala Bagh incident.
In Jallianwala Bagh incidents, there was a fair where many people were come, and the police take non-violence because they think that they are coming for war, but they are not coming for war. They are coming for fair, so that police come and encounter them.
Not encounter, is massacre. Okay, Khushbu.
This massacre was done by the General Dyer.
Okay, Fatima, what is Khilafat issue? Khilafat movement.
It was a non-violence movement inspired by Gandhi.
Anyone else? It was Khilafat movement. It was done by two brothers due to the defeat of Ottoman Empire by Allied group like Britain, the Muslims were unhappy with the colonial government. So Mahatma Gandhi took this advantage and joined them in non-cooperation movement. खलीफा सुने ना, खलीफा थे वहाँ पे, उनके साथ अनजस्टिस किया जा रहा था, इसकी वजह से मुस्लिम जो थे वो गुस्से थे. Okay. Next question is for Pratibha. What was Champaran Satyagraha?
Champaran Satyagraha was a non-violence movement made by Gandhiji. It is started on Bihar in Champaran, and it will the movement of non-violence, and it will be broke in Gujarat here.
चंपारण बिहार, इसके बाद क्या है? सोहेल, who was Alluri Sitaram Raju?
Alluri Sitaram Raju had a movement which is given by the Gandhiji in Champaran.
Khushbu.
Alluri Sitaram Raju followed the path of the Mahatma Gandhi, non-violence. He was considered as the God gift because he tolerated the bullet shots.
Yes, he claimed that he had a variety of special power. Can heal anyone, he could survive even bullet shot and make correct astrological prediction. Okay. Question for Sai Jamal. Why Mahatma Gandhi calling off the non-cooperation movement?
Colonial officers, that's why they call.
Because of चौरी चौरा हत्याकांड.
इम्प्रिजन किया गया था.
वो सिविल डिसऑबीडियंस जो था वो गोलमेज सम्मेलन के बाद उन्होंने फॉलो अप कर दिया था, सिविल डिसऑबीडियंस मूवमेंट. लेकिन नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट जब वॉयलेंस फैला, क्योंकि उनका मानना था कि अहिंसा का ही पालन चाहिए, लेकिन जब चौरी चौरा हत्याकांड हुआ उसके बाद उन्होंने नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट को फॉलो अप कर लिया, वापस ले लिया.
टाइम ख़त्म हो चुका है लगभग आज का, और अगला हम लोग का 25 तारीख को संडे पड़ रहा है,
क्रिसमस डे
क्रिसमस डे. लेकिन हम लोग क्रिसमस डे के दिन भी डिबेट अपना करेंगे, और इंग्लिश का होगा, और इंग्लिश में ग्रामर भी होगा और लिटरेचर भी होगा, और नंबर होगा लिटरेचर 12 नंबर और ग्रामर 8 नंबर, दोनों मिला के 20 नंबर का होगा. मिम्मी सर आप इनको बताइए, आप कुछ निष्कर्ष दीजिए लास्ट में, आप क्या इनको सलाह देना चाहते हैं और क्या अच्छा लगा, इनको और अच्छा करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा.
साहिल जमाल, खुशबू एंड फातिमा परफॉर्म वेरी वेल. लेकिन प्रतिभा आपने भी अच्छा किया, लेकिन कुछ पुरानी बातें आप भूल रही है. एंड सोहेल, यू शुड हार्ड वर्क. ठीक है, आपको और कड़ी मेहनत.
इधर आ जाओ मैम, इसको थोड़ा घुमा के खींचना होगा. भैया ठीक लगे ना.
So Sohail, you should do hard work. ऐसे आप मेहनत करते हैं, लेकिन मेहनत को सही रास्ते पे जाना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है, तो मेहनत आप करते रहे, क्योंकि ज्यादा समय बचा नहीं है. 1 से लेके 1.5 महीना, फिर आपके लाइफ का एक इम्पोर्टेंट इवेंट होने वाला है, जो जिंदगी भर आपसे पूछा जाएगा, या आपके पास होगा, या जब आप बड़े भी हो जाइएगा तो बच्चे आपसे पूछेंगे पापा आपके बोर्ड में कितना एग्जाम आया था. तो ये बहुत ही एक इम्पोर्टेंट इवेंट है. इसे ऐसा ना ले कि जैसे ये वीकली एग्जाम है या कोई और एग्जाम है. ठीक है, तो कड़ी मेहनत कीजिए, हम यही कहेंगे. एंड ग्रेट.
सबसे पहले तो ये बता दें, खास करके सोहेल, कि आपके पास यदि पढ़ने के लिए मटेरियल नहीं है, बुक नहीं है, आप हमसे मांगिए, आकर के बोलिए. वैसे तो आप ऑलरेडी लाइब्रेरी के मेंबर हैं, और अकॉर्डिंग टू क्वेश्चन, जैसे SST है, आने वाला इंग्लिश है, और मटेरियल होगा तो आपके सामने क्वेश्चन आएंगे और उसको आप याद करेंगे. और जैसे आपको मैं हमेशा देखता हूँ, पढ़ाई में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, सेल्फ स्टडी आप बहुत करते हैं, काफ़ी बैठे रहते हैं, प्रयास आपके तरफ से पूरी है, लेकिन फल नहीं मिल रहा है. प्रयास हम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो चाहिए वो नहीं मिल रहा है, तो फिर हमें ढूंढना होगा कि हमारे प्रयास में कहाँ कमी रह रहा है। कहीं हम जब बैठे हुए हैं तो हमारा माइंड एक जगह लग रहा है कि नहीं, कहीं ये तो नहीं कि बस बैठे हैं और दिमागे कहीं और है। दिमाग चल रहा है कि 3 दिन की छुट्टी है, 4 दिन का, 1 जनवरी, 2 जनवरी, 3 जनवरी, 31 दिसंबर, चलो यहाँ जाएंगे। इस तरह का बहुत सारी बातें दिमाग में चलता है, वो नहीं चलना चाहिए। तो मेहनत करिए। और बिल्कुल मैं तो इतना तक बता चुका हूँ कि मैट्रिक का सर्टिफिकेट एक दुल्हा दुल्हन के फोटो के जैसा होता है। उदाहरण के तौर पे मैं ये भी बोल चुका हूँ क्लास में, किसी क्लास में बता रहा था, जैसे दुल्हा दुल्हन का फोटो कहीं भेजा जाता है देखने के लिए कि ये देखिए दुल्हन का फोटो है, पसंद करिए, दुल्हा का फोटो आया है, वैसे पेरेंट्स जो है ना मैट्रिक के सर्टिफिकेट भेजते हैं। अगर आपके अच्छे नंबर आएंगे तो अपने संबंधी, रिश्तेदार, दोस्तों को वो भेजेंगे कि देखिए मेरा बेटा कितना अच्छा किया है, मेरी बेटी कितना अच्छा की है। नहीं अच्छा करेंगे तो वो नहीं भेजेंगे, चुप से हो जाएंगे। तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रखता है आपके समाज के लिए। और उसमें टाइम बिल्कुल ही ज़्यादा नहीं बचा है, काफ़ी शॉर्ट टाइम है और उसमें करके दिखाना है। मैं चाहता हूँ जैसे सोहेल जैसे स्टूडेंट को कि तुम बहुत अच्छा करो, तुम एक छोटे जगह से आए हो, काफ़ी तुम्हारा इन्वायरमेंट भी बहुत अच्छा नहीं है कि हम उस समाज में रह के बहुत अच्छा कर पाए। मैं हमेशा बताता हूँ, या कल ही बता रहा था 10 क्लास में तुम लोग को ही, कि देखो तुम IIT से ही क्यों इंजीनियरिंग करना चाहते हो और एम्स से ही मेडिकल से डॉक्टर क्यों बनना चाहते हो? क्या एम्स के डॉक्टर अलग पढ़ाते हैं और किसी प्राइवेट कॉलेज के गलत पढ़ाते हैं क्या? ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। सिर्फ मैंने अप्रोच की बात बताया था। उनकी पकड़ बहुत ज्यादा है। एम्स में पढ़ते हो, उनकी इतनी लंबी हाथ है कि तुम्हारा पैकेज बहुत ज्यादा जाता है, तनख्वाह बहुत ज्यादा मिलता है, तुम कमाते बहुत ज्यादा हो। और छोटे कॉलेज में जाते हो तो अप्रोच बहुत कम मिलता है। मेरा कहने का मतलब कि तुम्हारी पढ़ाई में भी बिल्कुल वही है कि अगर तुम कुछ धीमा भी हो, पढ़ने में एक एवरेज भी हो, अगर तुम्हारे पास अप्रोच है, पहुंच है काफी बड़ा, तो तुम बहुत बड़ा कर लोगे। और बहुत अच्छा होते हुए भी तुम्हारे अप्रोच अच्छे नहीं है तो बड़ी मुश्किल है आगे बढ़ना, क्योंकि तुम्हें पता नहीं है कि किस काम के लिए। आज तो सोशल मीडिया हो गया। मैं कल ही आज ही बात कर रहा था अपनी फैमिली में कि आज तो बहुत आसान हो गया कि हम सीधा YouTube पर जाकर कुछ पूछते हैं और पता चल जाता है। पर जब YouTube नहीं था तो उस समय बहुत लोगों को पता ही नहीं चलता था कि पढ़ाई होता कैसे है या किसी चीज का सुविधा कहां से मिल रहा है। और जिनके पास पकड़ था, समाज में अप्रोच था, उनको ये पता होता था और वो सुविधाओं का लाभ ले लेते थे। जानकारी होगा तभी तो लाभ लेंगे, जानकारी नहीं होगा तो पहुंचेंगे नहीं। बस एम्स 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 करते रहेंगे। एम्स में ना पढ़ के और भी बहुत सारा जगह है जहां से अच्छे डॉक्टर, अच्छे पैकेज आपको मिलेंगे। ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं मिलेंगे। तो आप मटेरियल लिया करिए, पढ़िए। और आने वाले टाइम पे हम चाहते हैं कि आपको मैंने प्लान भी बताया है कि 12th क्लास के बाद यहीं से ज्वाइनिंग लेटर दीजिए, लेकिन जब तक आप मेहनत नहीं करेंगे नहीं होगा। जैसा कि सर ने बताया, 3 लोग तो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे थे, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है। नंबर तो सर लोग दे ही देंगे। हमारे नज़र में भी ये तीनों बच्चे अच्छा कर रहे थे। प्रतिभा भी अच्छा कर रही थी, थोड़ा सा कमजोर पड़ रही थी। आप लोग सेल्फ स्टडी का टाइम बढ़ाइए। कोर्स कंप्लीट है, सेल्फ स्टडी टाइम बढ़ाइए। सेल्फ स्टडी को ऐसे करिए जैसे बिल्कुल मैं बोलता हूँ ना कि पढ़ाई होना चाहिए पढ़ाई की तरह। ये नहीं कि बस चेयर पर बैठे हैं और मम्मी पापा देख रहे हैं कि तुम पढ़ रहे हो, बाकी कुछ पढ़ नहीं है, तो दिमाग में बातें नहीं आएंगी। उम्मीद है इंग्लिश और अच्छा होगा, 5 का अच्छा होगा तो और भी मजा आएगा। हमें सबको मजा आएगा कि 5 ने क्या जबरदस्त किया। तो फिर हम लोग 25 दिसंबर, मैडम कुछ बोलेंगे, सुनिए।
आज का डिबेट मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, स्पेशली खुशबू। इसमें पावर बहुत था और इसके चेहरे का स्माइल, इसकी ताकत बढ़ा रहा था। ये मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। सभी बच्चों ने अच्छा किया। आपका हाव भाव, बॉडी लैंग्वेज और आपकी ताकत पता चल जाती है आपके चेहरे से। बाकी लोग भी अच्छा कर रहे थे, लेकिन खुशबू में ज़्यादा ताकत दिख रहा था, साहिद में भी। फातिमा में कुछ कम दिखा, कुछ कम दिखा। तो यही कहना चाहूँगी मैं कि देखने वाले को और मजा आए और आप खूब एंजॉय करें। अच्छा लगा। नेक्स्ट डिबेट के लिए आप खूब मेहनत करिए जम के। और स्पेशली आप मेहनत तो बहुत करते हैं लेकिन दिखता नहीं है। टाइम पे दिखना चाहिए, तब वो मेहनत आपका सक्सेस हो। सो गाइस, नेक्स्ट डिबेट के लिए ऑल द बेस्ट। थैंक यू।
कहते हैं कि जब किसी चीज को हम मुस्कुरा करके फेस करेंगे ना, कहने का मतलब कि आप किसी चीज को अगर टेंशन के रूप में लेंगे तो आपके जवाब गड़बड़ आने लगेंगे, क्योंकि तुम तो पहले ही से टेंशन में हो। पता नहीं क्या पूछेगा इंटरव्यू में, क्या पूछेगा मम्मी, मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा है, पहले ही से टेंशन में हो। वहां जाओगे, सामने देखोगे 4-5 लोग बैठे हुए हैं और नर्वस हो जाओगे। इसलिए खुशबू की तरह आप लोग स्माइल किया करें। बाकी जो बैठे हैं वो भी जीवन में इस तरह का स्माइल होना चाहिए, क्योंकि विदाउट आप जब स्माइल करते हैं तो पहले ही जो आपके जजमेंट करने वाले हैं वो आपके तरफ अट्रैक्टिव हो जाते हैं और आपके बारे में पॉजिटिव सोचने लगते हैं। तो आप सीखिए, यहाँ पर सब कुछ आप सीख रहे हैं और ये सीखने के लिए ही जगह है। ये कोई हार जीत, मैं मकसद हार जीत नहीं है। आप एक एक कमियां अपने ऐसे ही धीरे धीरे लोग दूर करते हैं, अपनी कमियों को धीरे धीरे इसी तरह पकड़ते जाएं और दूर करते जाएं, आप सब परफेक्ट हो जाएंगे, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है और काफी आगे जाएंगे। मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, आज भी मैं अपने घर में बोल के आया हूँ कि हम जो एजुकेशन दे रहे हैं, हम जिस एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ, मैंने जीवन में जब मेरी शादी नहीं हुई है उसके पहले और बच्चे होने के पहले मैंने यही सोच के रखा था मुझे पढ़ाना है, पढ़ाने के लिए डेडिकेटेड रहना है। और उसके बाद प्लान करता गया और जो चाहता था ईश्वर ने ऐसा कर दिया कि मैं खुद ही पढ़ाने लगा। कहीं और भेजना नहीं पड़ा, मैं ही खुद ही अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा हूँ और साथ में और भी तुम सब मेरे बच्चे हो। और ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरा बच्चा कहीं अलग स्पेशल रूम में पढ़ रहा है, तुम सब इक्विवेलेंट हो और मैं अपनी पूरी एनर्जी के साथ सबको साथ लगा रहा हूँ। और मैं बता रहा हूँ कि आप अगर सिर्फ हमारी बातों को माने, और जो यहाँ हो रहा है ऐसा सब जगह नहीं होता है, और खास करके जूनियर सेक्शन में, जिस सेक्शन में आप हो, सीनियर में बहुत कुछ मिलेगा। जब पीएचडी करोगे, ग्रेजुएशन करोगे, पर मैट्रिक वगैरह में नहीं मिलता इस तरह का। और जिस इन्वायरमेंट में पढ़ रहे हो, निश्चित ही हम सिर्फ अपने देश तक ही सीमित नहीं रहेंगे, हम लोग वर्ल्ड लेवल पे काम करेंगे, दुनिया में कुछ स्थान होगा। यही सोच करके हम लोग पढ़ा रहे हैं और यही करना है। चलिए अब हम लोग मिलते हैं। बोलो बेटा।
सर, मुझे मेरी गलती बताने के लिए धन्यवाद कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगली बार से अपनी गलती को सुधारूं और कुछ अच्छा करूँ।
बिल्कुल निश्चित, और गलतियां बताना जरूरी है। कहते हैं ना, सबसे अच्छा मित्र वो होता है जो अपने मित्र की गलतियों को बताए, क्योंकि हम गलतियां जानेंगे तो उसको दूर करेंगे। आप लोगों को जो न समझ में आए, आप डरे ना, हमसे बात करें आके, सर इसको कैसे करना है, हम लोग बताएंगे। आप पहले से डर जाएंगे, सर बोलेंगे तो बहुत गुस्साएंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। हम पढ़ाने के लिए बैठे हैं ना, आपके क्वेश्चन सही होने चाहिए, आपको सजेशन दिया जाएगा, आप काम करिए और मेहनत करिए। एक सप्ताह है, 25 तारीख के बाद फिर एक संडे हम लोग का ब्रेक होगा, क्योंकि शायद 1 जनवरी संडे को पड़ रहा है, और उसके बाद फिर हम लोग रेगुलर रहेंगे। और ये लास्ट डिबेट है। कुछ ऐसा करिए कि बहुत लोग इस पर भी देख रहे हैं, कमेंट कर रहे हैं, खास करके खुशबू के लिए कमेंट भी आया है। और एक छोटा सा बात में उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि खुशबू बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, टेबल नंबर 107, लेकिन लिटिल मिस्टेक, एक आदमी ने लिखा है कि छोटी छोटी गलतियां हो रही हैं, बाकी बहुत अच्छा कर रही हैं। आप सबके लिए लिखे तो और ज्यादा हमें खुशी होगा, क्योंकि आप सब हमारे बच्चे हैं। ठीक है,
मिम्मी हिंद कदने हाँ